Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 6 on a 30-day journey to freedom. And I want to say thank you all for praying for me. Sorry, I've been out the last couple days, last few days. Of course, most of you know my father had passed away, and so I had to go back to Kansas to take care of business. I was actually granted the honor to preach his service, and so it was a great time with family. The best we could do, uh, you know. Um, that's life. The Bible says that we're all are destined for a time, that our time here on earth, the numbers are counted. So that's why every day counts, because we don't know what day that we'll take our last breath, man. So it's vitally important that we start living now. It's vitally important that we start living for Christ. It's vitally important that we start telling other people about Christ, getting over ourselves so we can help somebody else, man. Because this world is not about you or me. It's not about self. It's about people. It's about winning the lost. It's about setting people free. It's about healing. Um, Today we're going to talk about day 6, and this is, if your first time tuning in, go back to the introduction and pick it up and start from the beginning, because it is a journey, man. Your freedom is a journey. I do believe in deliverance 100%, but if you don't have any knowledge of how you got in the situation that you got and the addictions that you have, you'll run right back to it, and then you'll be in worse shape than when you got delivered, because with no foundation, with no knowledge to keep your freedom, you'll repeat the same bad habits, because you won't know any better. So anyway, I want to encourage you. Go back and watch those. Tell a friend, send them to a friend. Great things are coming for this. I've already heard great testimonies come forward. So if something's going on in your life, just message me. Find me on Facebook. You might know how to get a hold of me, whatever. But reach out and share your story. Anyway, day 6 is, I titled it, "Your Future is Bright." Man, and that's absolutely right. Your future is bright. Uh, we had that old saying back in the 80s when I was a kid. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Your future's so bright, you got to wear shades. And man, that's absolutely true, guys. 100%. Because if we don't find hope in our future, if we can't see hope in our future, you will never get out of the cycle of addiction. If you don't see something greater, if you don't see something better, if you don't see something that is worth fighting for, man, you'll sink back to addiction every time. You have to find something what you're fighting for. The biggest thing in my life fighting addiction was about 10 and a half, 11 years ago, when we found out that our son was having their first child. His wife and they had called us. We were in Florida, taking a few days off from Tulsa, just sitting on the beach, doing nothing, trying to put our marriage back together. Our marriage was in shambles. I had just come out of an affair, hadn't been home in a few weeks, and through that time there in Florida, Alan called us, and he was told us. He told Susan, said, "Hey, go down to the hat shop and get Gigi embroidered on a hat." And he said, "Congratulations, you're about to be a Gigi." And she just totally lost it. I'm talking just in a good way, of course, And that really got my heart. That really set me on a path of a new direction. The announcement of her and seeing my wife and the condition that I was in, the condition that our marriage was in, God used that. He used that to get my attention. And man, it got my attention big time. It got my attention. You must see, I'm going to just read some notes here if that's okay. You must see a future full of promise and hope, like greeting your kids every day, landing a good job, finding the right spouse that works for you. Your future is dictated by the choices you make today. I'll say that again. Your future is dictated by the choices you make today. You paint your own future and follow the leading of His Holy Spirit. If you don't see your future as bright and promising, you will always fall back into deception and addiction, and you'll keep spinning your wheels. You'll keep spinning your wheels in addiction, guys. We must see You know, just like an instance, you know, landing a better job, seeing your kids every day should want you to fight, fight for your freedom. You know, we've been talking about last time I was on here, day 5 was, you know, catch a fire. Got to get on fire, get on fire for God. And the reason why we don't really sell out to Christ and get on fire is because we want to dip and dive in that addiction, guys. You got to get over that. What's in your heart? You know, what really motivates you? You know, living by the Spirit, your identity, the war for your soul. I mean, guys, go back and watch these over and over again. That's why I want to keep them short, so you guys will have that. And I want to challenge you today. I want you to dig out Psalms 16. Psalm 16, guys. He seeks God as his refuge and attests that no good thing comes apart from God. That's verses 1 through 3. No good thing comes apart from God. He expresses contentment in God's provision. This is verses 4 and 5. The Lord provides counsel, and with God at his side, David will not be shaken. This is verses 7 and 8 of Psalm 16. He rejoices and lives securely in God. Verses 9 and 10. So go back and just go through that. Man, guys, just go through that. Check out those verses. They're really powerful. Let me see if there's one last thing here in my notes to send you home with. And we'll pick up tomorrow, of course. But yeah, guys, just go back and watch it, man. Just so powerful. Let me see here. I'm sorry about that, people. I'm so sorry about that. Our fullness of joy comes in the presence of God. Our fullness of joy comes in the presence of God. That's why I do things like this. This brings me fullness of joy. And so it keeps me in the presence of God. Keeps me going in the right direction. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.